My apologies for a slight delay which we've had here today. My apologies, I was quickly finishing off something to do with another league, which hopefully won't happen again. But we are here for WXL round number 1 here, momentous day for them. And they start their league now with a 13-man grid. A few guys you might recognise from other leagues are taking part. Currently sees VSR Smithson on pole position in the Mercedes. Currently a Mercedes 1-2 with KJ Gamer alongside him. Then comes the Red Bull of JSR Snakes with the Force India of Ard in Ps 3 and 4. 22-3 and 22-4 for them two. Currently you've got TRPT in the Williams with a 22.8. ESR Amazed on a 22.9. Stracho, interesting to note, 23.9 but has retired for the session, so no more from him. Williams, driver of Little Rye, currently in P8 with a 25.6, but we will not see, hopefully should see more time from him as we are getting close to the end of the session. Harley, Diablo, Enigmarati and Coxey, as well as Jack RT. WXL laps, actually Diablo did just come in over 20.581. Good first lap from the McLaren driver. Of course, nice to see him back into league racing. Of course, previously a very big name commentator, now racing in WXL. So massively, very nice to see him here in WXL for their first round. Guys on a lap, I'm trying to sort of catch up at the moment, I do apologise. But Little Rye is now coming on the last corner. I believe he's only just about now to start a lap. Whether he's fast on the time. Nope, there's actually a bit of interesting glitch there going on for me. So we'll go off board with him, unfortunately. But Ard is just about to start his lap, as I actually believe Diablo is also on the lap. 2 minutes and 40 left to go in this at the moment. And actually Diablo just going AI there, interestingly, as they come through down towards that tricky left and right, which can actually make or break a lap, especially in qualifying, of course, with corner cutting. As Ard is just now come through turn number 3. Looks like as if everyone's just now starting their final laps. Harley now about to start his as well. Of course, this is quite a crucial time for everyone to get their laps in near the end. Yellow flag in sector 3. Diablo has had enough. He's parked up just at the double kinked right. That is, let me quickly get my track map up as I normally do. That is turn number 13. But somebody wanted to have enough, but we are still carrying on. Is everyone else starting to make their way out of the pits very late on, I should mention. Coming out very, very late at the moment, so do keep your eye on that. As everyone has actually got Ard coming through the final few corners now, as well as actually Williams in front of him, I believe. That Little Rye. No, Little Rye just now is coming up to the line. Doesn't improve, but did set a 24.2 for the moment. Coxey as well. He's just about to start his lap. I do try and find someone to stick on board with. Stick on board Ard as he comes around the final corner in the Force India. Currently now down to 50 PRP, but does massively improve over 21.8. Setting the time there. Beat Smithson by just over a tenth. Fantastic first lap from the lad. He'll be very much happy with that time. And I don't think he'll have enough fuel to go for another. VSR Smithson just parking up. TRP has had enough. He was only 5 thousandths off there of him. But then Jack RT, 3 thousandths off Snake. So that is 5 thousandths separating 3 drivers there from 4th to 6th. That is ridiculously close. But JSR Snakes might have more time saving over Jack RT. As everyone looks like they're just about to start their final lap. Smithson just now starting up hard, has had enough. Coxey, meanwhile, coming through in the Toro Rosso. It looks like the next one to start. Coxey looking decent so far. We'll quickly get the lap map up and the telemetries up. Everyone's sort of on their last tank of fuel, of course. Everyone going in for their final laps. Ard might be might be touch and go. We've got a Little Rye off there. The Williams driver off there. He's got front wing damage on that front left and now parks it up. So his session is done. That is the end for him. Artie might just about make it. It's 6 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. And he does with a second to go. Fantastic timing by Enigmarati there to get just right. He's just got JSR Snakes ahead of him though. So the dirty air might come into effect. Ard's going to be the first to cross the line, but of course he's not on a lap. Then we've got Jack RT, who is going for another lap here. He did do one already, and now on another one. We have just seen Coxey reach line for 22 dead, and Jack RT has dropped it at the final corner, so he will not find more time. But Coxey in the Toro Rosso, setting a 22 dead. Question is, can the guys behind him find more time? Of course, Jack RT has now retired, which means we only have JSR Snakes KJ Gamer VSR Smithson, who is now up to the line. Can he find some more time? No, he cannot. So Ard will be on pole position for this race. Now all eyes turn to JSR Snakes as well as Enigma Rai, who were interested in a train of 2 there. So keep your eyes on these two as they come through Sector 3 now. As I'm just quickly trying to get out my Twitch link, so do bear with me. But we are... Oh, actually, JSR Snakes went massively wide there at turn number 13 into 14. So he is done. Through the penultimate corner comes Enigma Rai, and he's actually got grab on his tyres, but of course he just wants to set lap time because that just confirms he won't actually climb any positions, unfortunately, due to positions. But he will now come up to the line, and Enigma Rai will set 23.4, so we'll still end up in P10. So the last guy, interestingly, going to be that is on the tyres that he qualified on. So that's going to be a tough session for him. So that's going to be a bit of a kick in the teeth, but for all we know, it could be raining. We're yet to find out of the conditions in the race. It's a shame that my co-commentator did unfortunately have to leave, but that does mean it is just me on commentary for the moment. But, so it is Ard on pole, the Force India driver, putting himself in pole position. VSR Smithson, not able to find time on that second run, so ends up in P2 for the moment. But those two definitely close on pace, so do keep your eye on that. Coxey, not too far behind him as well. Fantastic lap by the Toro Rosso driver. He lines up P3. The other Mercedes of KJ Gamer, P4. So second and fourth for the two Mercs. Good day for them. Comes JSR Snake in the Red Bull, I believe, in P5. Then you've got the Sauber of Jack RT, TRPT in the Williams, P7. Diablo on his return to league racing, only managing P8 for the moment. ESR amazed with poor qualifying in P9 in the other Red Bull, so 5th and 9th for the two Red Bulls. Then comes the Scuderia Ferrari of Enigma Rai. Then comes Stratcher in the Haas. Then you've got Little Rai in the other Williams. Harley in the Sauber, rounding out the grid for what is a 13-man grid for the race. We've got 17 seconds left of qualifying. Which means I will actually quickly grab a drink. My apologies, but I'm very thirsty. So Force India indeed has lined themselves up on pole, and I'll be back in 2 quick seconds. We are back. My apologies, I've literally just come off a podcast and jumped straight into this, so unfortunately I have missed all of this. But we are now getting ready for a 13-man grid for the first round of WXL, especially for them. And I am your commentator, F1XL Nut Head, and I'm actually asking myself the question of who I think will grab the win, and I'm actually going to go hard. I've seen him in multiple leagues. It's nice to see him back because I haven't actually seen him in a long time, and it's nice to see him back on pole position, and back row really is, on pace. He's incredible pace. VSR Smithson's well on the front row, though. Definitely someone to watch out for. Coxey, proven he's got some very decent pace heading into this. So do keep your eye on that front three as well, with KJ Gamer just behind as well. JSR Snakes might try and take full advantage, but who knows what's going to happen as we get ready to build up towards those beautiful 5 races for the Australian Grand Prix in WXL. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to WXL. This will be a long season ahead, and here we go for the formation lap. And Smithson was immediately disqualified there, so not a good start for him. But, so it is, just a reminder of the grid in case you have short-term memory loss. It is Ard on pole position with the Mercedes of VSR Smithson just alongside him. Coxey, P3 for him, so a fantastic event by the Toro Rosso driver. Then comes KJ Gamer, the other Mercedes, so good qualifying display by the two Mercedes. I'll be hoping for maybe climb a few positions off the line and really sort of assert themselves in the constructors heading into round number 1. JSR Snakes in the Red Bull, lines up in P5. Good effort from him. Jack RT not able to find that time on that last lap after a poor mistake near the end, but he lines up in P6, has a good chance to take advantage heading towards turn 1. TRPT, surprised to see him down there in the Williams, but he is there for the moment. Then comes Diablo in his return to league racing in P8. Yes, short-term memory loss. ESR Amazed and the other Red Bull lines himself up in P9. Then comes the sole Ferrari on the grid. We have Enigmarati, then the Haas of Straccio. Then you've got Little Ryan, the Williams, and Harley rounding out the grid in the Sauber. Now we should mention, of course, the top 10 all have to start on the Ultra Softs they qualified on. And further back, we have Straccio, which was not for the Super Softs in the first stint, but Little Ryan, Harley trying the Softs. So they'll be very conservative in terms of on their first stints, as the guys are just now completing their formation laps. So they just now come around turn number 15, the penultimate corner of this 16-turn track. As Hard is now ready to line himself up on that front grid spot alongside VSR Smithson, and then Coxey just behind him, alongside him with KJ Gamer. Well, it's been a long wait for XL ever since it founded. It blew up with interest, and now we're finally here to put these 13 men on the grid ahead of the Australian Grand Prix. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in throughout the season, because this is the World Acceleration League. This is WXL round number 1, as the cars are just parking themselves up in their grid slots. We're just waiting for one final one there. That is the Sauber of Jack RT lining himself up, being very tactical about getting the best sort of tyres. There is everyone on the grid, as you can see. Everyone ticking, approving. They're all set and ready to go. 5 red lights await us here for the first round here in Australia. And it is lights out now, and away we go. Decent start on the front row there by Ard. Meanwhile, it looks like actually on the second row, Coxey get a hell of a start. Hugh, bad start there by KJ Gamer. He's got an awful start, way down. But Coxey is side by side with VSR Smithson. Coxey forced down wide. JSL Snake full of advantage to go around the outside of him. On the run towards turn number 3 now. JSL Snake running outside, that's side by side. Jack RT not running out for P4 there as they come down towards turn number 3. It's very close in the end. Dive bombing from Jack RT to try and get the move done to JSL Snake. There's a huge bit of contact there with the Toro Rosso. That was, I believe, Coxey's a poor start by the lad. He's now down into P number 7, Enigmarati, with an absolute huge start there, up into P5. Fantastic job by him, but it is indeed still Arnie leads, closely followed behind by VSR Smithson. Then comes Jack RT, JSL Snake's not too far behind him. Enigmarati all got PE all over the back of him. Coxey is right behind the back of him, so he's got to be careful. Coxey with a very bad start off the line, losing 4 positions. But everyone else taking full advantage, including Jack RT. A fantastic start from P6, but Coxey's loose shifting round the outside of TRPT as they come up towards turns number 11 and 12. My apologies, I'm trying to remember what corner that was then. There's actually ESR Amazing still at the back of them as he declined a position off the line. But VSR Smithson is critically side by side for the lead through turn number 14, and he's got the move done. The Mercedes driver up into the lead on lap number 1 here of this 29 lap race. So Smithson with a fantastic first lap in the end after squeezing Coxey rather aggressively out at turn 1. In the end ends up leading this race as they end lap number 1 now. Jack RT only 7 tenths behind though, so he's very much in this fight. JSR Snakes as well, he's P4 now after what looked like to be P3, but after a bit of contact ended up behind Jack RT, and Enigmarati sliding through turn 1 and 2. TRPT now might try to see opportunity for himself on the run out towards turn number 3. He's a bit too far back though, but very slidey at the moment, very cagey, Enigmarati. So we'll have to see how he gets on. 2 pitters on lap number 1. Shame to see Straccio in for a front wing change, as well as Diablo. He has no front wing, so he definitely needs a pit stop. Poor start for him back to league racing, a shame for him really. But as they come in now, Artie's got a hell of an exit there out of turn number 6, down the inside for turn number 10 and 9. Sorry, 9 and 10. My apologies, got them the wrong way around. That was a bit silly of me. Should know my numbers, but in the end, Smithson friendly. But now on the run down towards 11 and 12, he's shifting around the outside. It's a stupid place to overtake. He surely won't. No, shifts back behind and thinks better of it. But Jack RT is very much in this battle as they come out of turn number 12 down towards turn 13. And it's been a fantastic, cagey start. But PT clinically got the move back done there on Enigmarati. And Enigmarati now under pressure. Mike Coxey as well as ESR Amazed as they run down towards turn number 13. And actually, ESR Amazed made contact there with Coxey in the wall. ESR Amazed is in the wall. Coming through turn number 13 into 14. And now surely ESR Amazed's got a lot of work ahead of him. Straccio is out. He's parked into turn number 5. So that is him done. But Smithson still leads as they start lap number 3. Hard sets the fast lap. The JSR Snake set the fast lap after him though, as all 4 of the leaders are within a second of one another. So it's definitely close as DRS is enabled, but 3-second time penalty already for Ard. So he's got to be very careful for the rest of this race. Harley being swamped at the moment. He's on the medium soft tyres, remember, same as well, Little Rye. But Coxey needs to get away from these 2. Little Roy shifted down the inside of turn number 3. This could be a good move by the Williams driver, but of course he needs to be careful because he's only on the softs. Coxey, of course, on the ultra soft, so he needs to be very sort of cagey and make sure he gets going. Otherwise, you don't want to get stuck behind these soft top pad riders because that will ruin his race massively. They come towards turn number 6 and 7. It's still Coxey in the lead. Through 7 they come. Coxey on the grass, but Little Roy with a poor exit. But in the end, we'll head up back towards the lead as they come towards turn 11 and 12. It's still all kicking off here. I'm going absolutely mad on these first few laps. I've still got 26 laps ahead of me. But it is very cagey at the moment. And here we go as they come up towards turn number 12. TRP has got past JSR Snakes. He's binned in at turn number 13 as well. We've got Coxey. Coxey has binned it. Should mention F1XL now hosting me. That is one of their F1 drivers. He's just binned it. Coming through turn number 12, so his day is done. It's a shame really to see, but he is out of this Grand Prix. But he will quickly shift up back towards leaders where it's all kicking off. Only 5 tenths separating them. As it still continues to kick off. Little Roy is in the pit, so he must have front wing damage. That's a real shame to see from the lad who's on the softs. He had real potential. But this now means that Harley's having a P6. And could potentially see himself starting to catch up to winning Mariah, but it's good. Big test hard. My look shift down the inside there as the freeway scrap continues here for the race lead on lap number 4. Coxey with a poor start. I have to agree with that guy in the chat. 0 to 0 really quali, which is a real shame to see. Definitely watch out for him the next few weeks though. Definitely make sure you keep your eyes on him, as actually Harley is massively caught up here to the back of Enigmarati as they come through turns number 6, 7 and 8. Now coming up towards turn number 10. And he actually, he nearly hits the back of Artie then. He needs to be careful, make sure he doesn't do anything silly to ruin his own race here. That would be a bit too stupid as they come through. JSR Snakes is now out on the Super Softs, just come out behind his teammate is or Amaze. So that could be an interesting battle if Snakes can catch up to his teammate. I'm quickly just trying to find my track map because I lost it, which isn't good. But we'll quickly head back up towards leaders where this freeway scrap does indeed continue. But Smithson is starting to creep away from Ard, and as well Ard is starting to creep away from Jack RT as the consistency begins to set in and the consistent laps start to come in. It'd be crucial for all of these lads to keep going. As through turn 1 and 2 they come. I'm quickly just trying to gloss over stuff that's happening at this time being. But as they come through turn number 3, it is indeed still Smith who leads from Ard and then Jack RT, but Harley is all over the back of Enigmarati as they come towards turn number 3. Oh, he does try and look for a late lunge, but Artie's saying, shutting the door and saying, no, think better of it, lad, because that is just plain stupidity. Jack RT is starting to be closed up though by TRPT in the Williams, so that could be an interesting battle to keep your eyes on. KJ Gamer. So he could be an interesting one to keep your eyes on. Definitely as this race continues on. Harley looks like he's starting to be hindered a little bit by being on the back of Enigmarati, so he wants to get the move done as soon as possible. As I do agree with what the owner has said out of the league. Hectic start, boys. Amazing at the front, but reckless in the midfield. The lads have got to be careful, but Harley, Anton, leaves his shift for a move there at turn number 12. He cuts the corner massively on the run down towards turn number 13. Of course, this year they do have DRS enabled down here, but of course, this on the 2017 game they don't have it. So he hasn't got the advantage of that through turn number 13 into 14. He is shifting down the inside. It doesn't look like he's ever to get a move done though. But Harley is definitely showing signs of being frustrated at this moment. For the time being, my apologies, I'm actually trying to get my track map up in my corners because I need to run my corners, but Harley is shifting down the inside here for P5. Can he get the move done on the soft tyres? He squeezes out wide, and Harley on the soft compound tyres is now up in the P5. Definitely keep your eyes on him, but Ard is starting to close back up to the back of VSL Smithson. That McLaren you saw was Diablo's AI, so it's a shame to see him leave on his return to league racing. But make sure you do keep an eye on him for Robert Warranty. He might be someone to keep your eyes on. As Little Roy sets their fastest lap of a 25.2. Fantastic lap by him. We'll stick on board with the leaders for the moment to see what happens in terms of them. See if Ard can go for a move. But Jack RT has now dropped 2.2 seconds off of him. So it looks like it might be a 2-horse race given the pace we've seen early on. Pete Ian as well, especially with Harley. Might have a chance here. 3-second time again for Hard. So that's 6 seconds in the space of 6 laps. That's going to be a tough deal for him. He's got a lot of work to do if he wants to keep himself in this race. Beautiful helicopter shot there as they come through turn number 13 into 14. And yes, I don't have a co-commentator. Unfortunately, Big Will has to drop out at the last minute, meaning I am on my own for this one, but I'll definitely give it 110%. Smithson diving in as well. Ard dives it in. He makes a late decision there for on seeing Smithson pit, but this is very early from these two. Interesting what tyres they do go on, but this now promotes Jack Arty into the lead and TRPT up into second. Smithson onto the softs, sorry, and Ard is onto the super softs. So he will probably try a two-stop, whereas we'll see Smithson try the one-stop. So this is crucial now for Ard to get past Smithson early on in this stint, but he's interestingly lost 2 seconds there on the pits. So whether he got held a little bit because of Smithson being the Mercedes, he gets the exit first. Sorry, I came on more back, so I thought it was side by side, but now it's actually Arty going past Diablo's AI as they come through turns number 6, 7 and 8. Through the long sweep in turn 8 they come. And actually PT is definitely not someone to keep your eye on in terms of the battle here with Jack Arty, because I don't want about too much, because of course with regards to the guys that have just come into the pits, they need to keep their eyes on them. So the top 4, the only 4 yet to pit in this Grand Prix. Through turns number 11 and 12. No, it's alright, Jimmy, I can do it. I've got this. Don't you worry, sunshine. And actually, Jack Arty running a bit wide there at turn number 12, but it doesn't look like he's close enough. If he was a little bit closer, good time full of margin, like, of course, the dirty air is a big problem on F1 2017, of course, in these 2017 cars, so it's going to be difficult for him as they come through the final corner. PT seems to be just a lot more smoother. Jack Arty getting a bit of oversteer there. He's sliding on exit on the curb, but no sign of Pete able to go for a move just yet, because with this second bite of the cherry DRS through turn 1 and 2, if he can get a good exit out of 2, he could see himself all over the back of Jack Arty. He is indeed. Jack Arty getting a very poor exit there, sliding on exit at turn number 2, and PT's already got the move done before he even hit the braking zone of turn number 3. So PT up into what is the race lead, but is actually effectively P3 and runs a bit wide there out of turn 3, a bit of lag, potentially through turn number 4. But in the end, it gets the move done. Fantastic. There's a PT up into the race lead, but not quite what is actually the race lead. He's currently in what is a net P3. Little Y. 3-second time penalty for him, as he's got KJ Gamer close behind him. He had a very, very, very poor start, we should mention. KJ Gamer sliding on it on the start and ended up actually on the pit road, the pit exit line, off the line, and lost a lot of positions going down towards turn 1, which actually meant that Coxey could go on the offensive against Smithson because he didn't have a Mercedes behind him to contest him. So it worked out quite nicely for him. So we're actually down to 10 drivers in this race because Diablo has left. There's actually JSR Snakes, his teammate actually ahead of him, ESR Maze. He's closed up to the back of him and could potentially be on the offensive within the next lap or so. So do keep your eye on this for what is 2 points, but of course 2 teammates, so we'll be hoping that they work together to get themselves the best possible results. So they come through turn 6 and 7 out towards long turn 8. 4, 9 and 10 actually. Jack Arty, interesting, dive into the pits on lap number 9. So Jack Arty and as well Nick Marati in the Ferrari, so those two pit. That will now promote Smithson and Ard up into P3 and 4 respectively. Harley and PT yet to pit, and actually Harley is starting to close up here to PT, so he could be on actually for what could actually be the race lead, given the fact of where he started outside the top 10. You know, he's climbed 11 places, he started all the way down in P13, he started stone dead last, and he could be on for what is the race lead at the moment. Nick Marai comes out the pits in what looks like to be P8, looks like the teammate is just a bit too far behind to come out anywhere near him. And Ard is definitely closing on Smithson, of course. He needs to get the move done early, of course, with this planned 2-stop. It's clinical for him to get past any guys that are on a 1-stop as soon as possible. So this is going to be crucial for him. Smithson, of course, will defend as much as he can, because he knows the fact that this could actually be for the race lead further down the line. But you've got to say, Harley is definitely someone in this battle. He's only 12 seconds ahead of Smithson at the moment. But of course, Harley is coming for another stop, but he's going to be on the ultra softs. So with a difference of tyre compounds between the ultras and the softs, definitely keep your eye on the Sauber driver, because he could very much be in this Grand Prix as they come through towards turns number 13 and 14. That double kinked right, which can actually be very difficult if you run on the exit of 13 and run a bit wide. KJ Gamer in the Mercedes picking himself up a 3-second time penalty. Through the penultimate corner comes Ard and Smithson. and they are definitely close to one another as they come through the final corner. This could be potentially what could determine the race further down the line. DRS for Ard on the run down towards T1. They start lap number 10 now, and it's the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far by Ard. That's definitely a sign of which say he has got the pace at the moment on them super soft. Flips him one a little bit wide out of turn 1, but in the end gets it nicely. And he's still in the DRS, actually amazed. And JSR Snakes are quickly scrapping. I will quickly feast back towards his battle. I'm ashamed not to really watch that battle, but amazed. Seems to have fended off from Snakes for P9. Keeping your eyes on this battle through turn number 5, and actually Harley is only 2 tenths behind PT as well for what is, you know, technically the race lead. They come through turns number, just come out of turn number 10 there, sorry, my apologies. Now towards 11 and 12. He's got a chance here to get him past and actually put himself on the race lead. Poor exit by PT out of turn number 12, but he actually sort of sideswiped Harley a little bit there. But in the end, Harley's still down inside. He might go for a late launch here through turn number 13, and he does. Fantastic move by the Sauber driver, and the soft compound runner who's yet to pit now leads this Grand Prix. That's surely got to be a sign for Petey to say, right, I need to come in because I'm losing time to even a soft runner here. So surely his tyres have got to go off, and he does indeed dive into the pits there on lap number 10. A bit of oversteer there to come into the pit. But now you've got to say that actually brings advantage towards Harley. Because of course, when he comes in now, in theory, he will be sort of roughly around Pete. You're interested what tyres Pete goes on to. Where will he come out actually? So he might come out behind Jackotti. He won't want to come out between the scrap between KJ Gamer and a little Rye. That'll be the last few ones. He actually on the soft compound tyres, so he's definitely going to make it to the end on them. Jackotti does get past. Little Rye is now on the run down towards T1, but he's just side by side with KJ Gamer. Actually, KJ Gamer getting the move done there. But his teammate is now on the way out of the pit through turn number 1. And actually, this is crucial for Pete. He needs to defend this off from KJ Gamer. I mean, KJ Gamer might know that his teammate is in a battle with Pete for later on in this race. They are side by side through turn number 3. And actually, KJ Gamer got a fantastic run there around the outside. And actually, through turn number 4, he's still not able to defend it. So KJ Gamer getting a brilliant move up in a P5. And that might be strategic from Pete to sort of just stick behind him a little bit. Because, of course, we do have KJ Gamer on the super softs compared to his soft compound tyres. As I will say this, and obviously most of you might be tuning in from F1XL, but I will say thank you very much for the 15 viewers in the first round of stream here for WXL. We hope this continues throughout the season. But yeah, thank you very much so far for the support, and we hope that continues throughout the season potentially. There's actually Petey, actually little Rye there, retiring. So he's actually had enough, and actually his AI will park it up out of turn number 11 through 12. So, sad day for the Williams driver, one of the favourites surely to do well in this series, has unfortunately retired from the Grand Prix. So he is out, which is a shame. As they come through T1 now, indeed, we're back on board with Ard and Smithson. And Ard is still not able to close up. This is crucial, so he's very much pushing at the moment. He's giving it everything he's got. You know, definitely wants to make sure he keeps ahead of the full-team driver. I should mention, as well, Smithson's got a lot more fuel to play with at the moment, just about plus on lap for him, and only about plus 0.2 as he keeps sort of fluctuating, as it does, because it's rather glitchy, for Ard. So he's actually sort of sticking near his delta, just sort of trying to get the best pace he can. Running wide there out of turn number 6 though, through 7, in towards 8 now is Smithson. So Ard definitely closing up through turns number 9 and 10 they come. And actually Smithson starting to sort of struggle with that back end. Starting to slowly sort of creep up on him now, and Ard is creeping up to the back of him. Still 10 seconds between the two of them, and actually Ard makes a big contact with the wall there through turn number 12. That might have hit him. He didn't get any damage for that. Actually, sorry, it's turn 11, my bad, not turn number 12. I keep getting two mixed up. Here's Inuarati with a 3-second time penalty. He's currently got 15 seconds clear of a maze, so he should be all good for the moment. You don't have to worry about that too much. And Pete, you're starting to drop off the back of KJ Gamer for the moment. Actually, as well, a lot of people running quite, you know, getting a lot of oversteer out of that phenomenal corner. This is quite a low traction corner. You know, he did come up from the lower gears, so it is very hard. I guess that is actually crucial to mention. I see if Harley were to pit now, he would come out about 4th or 5th. You want to make sure he doesn't come out in 4th, because you want to end up behind maybe potentially Jack RT, because of course Jack RT is on the softs. I believe he probably will, so it's going to be tough for him. Harley, because he's going to want to get the move on in that last stint. He doesn't want to go from 2 suicidal. Actually, Petey is back past KJ Gamer following a mistake from the Mercedes driver. In the same way that Valtteri Bottas made a mistake. He hasn't hit the wall though. He's got away with it, but just a little mistake out of turn number 2. And KJ Gamer is now down to P6 with PT back on the P5. And could potentially, with his pace, potentially catch Jack RT. We've seen him happen once. It might happen again now on the soft compound tyres. Hard starting to drop off to the back of BSR Smithson here. As we have still got 13 viewers, so thank you very much. Smithson, 3-second time limit for him, but of course Harder's already got 2 of them, so but that actually could help Harley in the long run, because of course Harley will be closing up to these guys on the super softs on his final stint, but he's not got any fuel to play with. It currently says according to his delta he will come out P4 if he pits, but that looks touch and go to me. It looks about 17 seconds. Actually, sorry, about 18 seconds. Actually, no, it is 17 seconds. My apologies. Harley now actually picks his... Oh, I've just jinxed him. There's a bit of commentator's curse. Harley has picked himself up a 3-second time penalty here. And actually, he's now on his second one. Smithson on his second one. Ard's got 2. Jack RT with 1. TRPT with his nose clean so far. 2 penalties for KJ Gamer. A penalty for Enigmarati. ESR Amazed with a penalty himself. JSR Snakes on a penalty, and of course, everyone else is out of this Grand Prix. We are down to 9 in the first round of WXL. Thank you very much for tuning in for the first 14 laps. Still 15 laps to go this race. We're only just now crossing over to the halfway point. Still plenty of action left to happen here. Yeah, little Rod, just let us know what happened in the chat, mate. So, but as they come out down towards turns 12 and 13, it doesn't look like Ard's able to keep up with Smithson's pace on these softs. Smithson's definitely working on that race pace on round Australia at the moment. And sort of that mid stint on the softs. It is quite a crucial one if you are going to go for one stop, because of course it is majority your race. You know, you can be all well and good on the ultra softs, but when it comes to being, you know, sort of on the more consistency side, Smithson's definitely got it. Definitely proven why he is at the moment in the net race lead. Still waiting to see Harley come into the pits. His pit window is either next lap or the lap or between lap 20 for him. So he's got time. You know, it's not as if he ain't got a small pit window. He can pick and choose when's the best time for him to come into the pits. But yeah, so lap number 15 at the moment, and it all looks quieting down a bit now. And actually, JSR Snakes is still on the back of his teammate though for P8 now. This is following Little Rise retirement. So still, of course, both guys have been involved in incidents. Of course, JSR Snakes had a huge crash out of turn number 12, and ESR Mays involved in an incident early on, I believe, which did cost him heavily as they come through the final corner. Of course, JSR Snakes does have the advantage of DRS. The 2 Red Bulls, of course, they want to make sure they're not too aggressive on one another because they want to bring contact. They're still on for, you know, as a team unit, still on for 6 points in their first round. So it's still more than other teams, for example, like McLaren. They're coming home with nothing because, of course, Diablo is out of this Grand Prix. As they come through turn number 3 now, and we'll still keep an eye on the leaders to make sure to see if we see any pitters. But it's all sort of quieting down at the moment. As actually, JSR Snakes definitely on the back of it. Picks up another 3-second time penalty. The lad needs to be careful. The guys have got to be more careful. And Pete's definitely been the one that's proved that so far, without a penalty to his name just yet. So you've got to say he's definitely one guy to watch out for later on in this race, with everyone else picking up all these time penalties and him not even picking up a single one yet. Definitely proving consistency is key. We come through T12, 11 and 12, and actually JSR Snakes getting a better exit out of 11, but then 12 a bit on the grass and losing a bit of time. We'll shift back towards, we'll actually give a bit of TV time to the current leader, Harley in the Sauber, and what an effort it's been, starting way back in last place. He kept his nose clean on them softs and now currently leads and is potentially on for a very high result at least in this race as we get towards sort of the final stints. If the 2 stoppers are going to come in, they'll be coming in sooner rather than later, and of course Harley himself on the softs will be coming in for his first actual scheduled pit stop. Actually, you can just see there, that's the McLaren of Diablo. Coming towards turn number 13. Of course, shame to see him leave. He did have an incident on lap number 1. I didn't quite catch what it was, but unfortunately that saw the end of his first bid back in league racing. So if they come through the penultimate corner, actually looking at the on the front left, he gets away with it. Through the final corner he comes. Harley is definitely a guy to keep your eyes on this season. And after didn't even set a time in quali every corner cut, or not, remains to be seen. Routine one, he comes. Of course, he does have 2 penalties at the moment. Smithson also having 2. Hard is on 2. And then Jack RT, I believe, is also on 1. But TRPT is on none at the moment. But actually, in the last, he picked himself up another one there in the Ferrari. So, tough day for him. Continues to get just that a little bit more harder. But now we should mention, in terms of pitters, we should expect to see Hard potentially in sooner rather than later. Whether he's going to try a one-stop on them supers remains to be seen, because that'd be rather stupid in the time that he pit. I believe that lap number 7. Very early on in this Grand Prix. As they come through turn number 11 up towards, turn number 10, up towards 11 and 12. I always seem to get my corners confuddled, but the race will continue. Let's sort of calm down a little bit now. Just time to sort of look at gaps and consistency kicks in. It's naturally what happens in a 50%, but as you get near towards the end of the race, that's when it starts to heat up. That's when the racing really starts to unfold, and we start to see a hell of a lot of racing. Whether you guys are joining us via the F1XL channel that is currently hosting us, or whether you're joining me from the WXL, we do welcome you, and we hope that you do stick around for the season. If you do want to get signed up, feel free to DM WXL account and get yourselves in. We're always looking for new drivers, so get yourself signed up as soon as possible. And yeah, that's enough of my plug. They come through T2 now. And 8 seconds is currently the gap between Smithson and Harley. Harley now down to 7.68. I believe the gap is starting to come down because, of course, Harley's tyres are going to start to fill in the wear just that little bit. Lap number 18, so we should expect to see him in soon. Harley could try and send tyres. He could do. Well, we could also come in for a set of supers if we want more stint across the entire thing. We have got the first of the second guy to pit the second time. KJ Gamer in the Mercedes. He was on for a very promising race, but a very, very, very poor start from him. In the end, cost him. And he's now out on the Ultra Softs to the end. So this will be crunch time for him. Time to get the hammer down. Actually, he's going to come out just about side by side with his mates through turn number 1. 5 second stop. Go for it though, for cutting across the pit exit wide line. I think that's a bit too harsh from Codemasters, but in the end, he is awarded that. So maybe that might be taken off. But he's now on the back of ESR Maze, so he's going to want to get past him as soon as possible to prevent himself losing too much time through turn 4 in towards turn number 5. He's all over the back of him, shifts to the inside through turn 6, but had to back off to prevent himself from running straight in the back of a Maze there. But the Red Bull driver has now got the Merc for company through the long turn number 8. He's still in the slipstream and the dirty air, of course, should mention. Up towards 9 and 10, now turn number 9, then through to 10, this long left-hander, which can be very deceiving on X. He can actually get a lot of oversteer. As he comes towards turns 11 and 12, actually short shift number 8 there. I'm not really something he want to go on defensive. Maybe wants to see the better exit out of T12, and actually Amaze massively cuts the corner there. Harrow turn number 12 and towards 13. Now with 10 laps to go now, lap number 19 for the race. So these guys are still cut up to the end of lap number 18 to start lap number 19. Through the turn 14, actually gets a much better exit through towards turn 15 in the end. Not able to do it. Actually, Isarmaze dives it into the pits though, so that works out in his favour. And now he promotes KJ Gamer up into P7, and now good 13 seconds behind Artie, but I believe Artie will be due in for another stop. So 3 second time. Finally, Petey gets his first one. This is out of turn number 5. So turn number 6. So he finally gets his first penalty of the Grand Prix. But he's actually the last driver on the grid to not have one, so fantastic effort by him. As you mentioned at the moment, it's currently 1st and 4th for the 2 Salvers. But that actually means as well that if Harley were to pit and come out on Ultras, will his teammate work with him? Hopefully, work together to help Harley get the best possible pace he can on them Ultra Softs. Gap's now 6.3 seconds to Smithson, and 5.3 seconds behind him is Ard. So he's dropped off massively, and actually Jack RT starting to close up on him at the moment, as he's actually rather cool on there through to the last corner. Make sure he doesn't get anything wrong. Make sure he just keeps it nice and smooth, nice and calm. And as they come through T's 1 and 2, 3 second time for JSR Snakes, and actually runs massively wide there. So Diablo's AI is now into the pits, but we don't really care. And Ard is amazed that you now 20.2 seconds behind. But the question is, when will his teammate pit, because of course we do expect him in for another stop. So about 10 laps to go in this race, about 10 and a bit for the race leaders. But fastest lap there for KJ Gamer, 23.8 for him. As they come through turn number 12, present time there for Harley. So that's he's now third of the race. So he's definitely going to have to watch out for guys behind him in terms of penalties before the end of this race. Because when he's pushing on them ultra softs, it's going to be crucial. The pit light is on for him, so we should expect to see him. JSR Snakes is also winning the Red Bull. He puts on a set of ultras off. Frees it and Tony again for his RMAs. And Harley is diving into the pits here on the lap number 20. So that means Smithson will now finally promote back into the race lead. I would actually agree with what you just said there. As actually Ard dives into the pits here on lap number 20 to start lap number 21. He's coming in for what is a plan 2 stop. Same time as Harley. So Harley will now come out in the ultras, and you can just see him there at the end of the screen. But he's also ultra set for Ard, which actually promotes PT up into raw P4. It doesn't look like he's going to have P3. It looks like he's just about managed. Harley's just about managed to come out ahead of PT, but now through turn number 2 was a much better exit from Harley. Actually, it looks like as if Petey's got a much better exit, but Jack RT is disconnected, but now side by side through turn number 3. This is clinical stuff for Harley. He needs to make sure he fends it off through turn number 4. Right down the inside, he's got defending and fends it nicely, of course, with a better grip. Fantastic bit of driving there by the pair of them. So now this is going to be all on Harley and Ard. Harley is now 4 seconds behind, but of course Jack RT is left session, but he's now back in. So this could be clinical for this race. Of course Pete is also going to want to push, because of course he can see the back of Jack RT and can see him closing in on what could actually be a potential podium at the moment. Jack RT's crawling around these corners. When will he get back though? He is back in lobby, just waiting for the 5 lights surely to come back on so he can get back in. Yellow flag in sector 3, what have we had? Who's had a moment? Still yellow flag in sector 3, who has had a moment? I don't know who's had a moment. I believe that actually might be for the AI, and Jack RT is back in, and his teammate is now down the inside the penultimate corner. Surely won't balance too well, he does sort of try and defend it. In the end though, he sort of backs off of the penultimate, probably realising who it is, think, oh Brummel, you're the god that's behind me, I don't want to make sure I defend against you too much. Now Harley's got 15 seconds to the race leader. Can he close up? It's going to be a hell of an effort if he can. Jack RT's dropped down to P9. That should hopefully fix itself on the timing screen soon. But in the end, Jack RT now down to what is actually P9, but that's actually incorrect. He is actually in P3. He's experienced quite a lot of lag, so Pete needs to be careful if he does catch up to him. And now there's 2 gaps to keep your eyes on. The gap between Ard and PT, and the gap between Harley and Smithson. So Harley could potentially be on for a surprise first victory here in the WXL. But he's got to catch up and pass Smithson, which is not easy. Let me tell you that from experience. That is not an easy feat. As they come through turn number 13 into 14. 3 second time again for Harley. So that's another one. I believe he's up to 12 seconds now, which is a lot of penalties. He is 12 seconds. Smithson still only on 6. Then comes Petey on 1. So he's only got 3 second time penalty. Ard's got 9 seconds. There's even more at the bottom. There is just 9 seconds. Artie's only on 6 seconds. KJ Gamer on... Flippin' he's got loads. His race just not going to end for him. ASR Mace only on 2 penalties. And you've got JSR Snakes on 3. Still says that Jack RT is down in P9. That is not true. He is still in P3. So I'm not really too sure what's happening at the moment. But yeah, of course you can. Pesky, that's no worries. They come through T1 now. And actually, KJ Gamer is all over the back of Enigma as they come through turn number 2, down towards turn number 3. And actually, Artie shifted the inside. They're going defensive. It's Ferrari against Mercedes, who will come out on top. Much better braking, under braking there through turn number 3. Run him onto the curb though. Enigma Artie, though. KJ Gamer, fantastic job there through turn number 4 into 5 and gets the move done on Artie for P5 again. So he is back up in towards P5. But, I mean, he's still got a lot of work to do. He wants to catch up to Ard. That's going to be quite an effort from him. He's going to need to put absolute everything. He's going to need to put balls to the wall, but it doesn't look like they're able to. So that might be the end of his race. If he can just keep it clean and come in with 10 points, that'll be a good job by the Mercedes driver after a poor start. So keep your eye on him as they start lap number 24. Smithson 10 seconds clear of Harley. It's going to be quite an effort for him to catch that up, and as well, he's also got massive amounts of penalties. So it's definitely going to be a tall order by the Sauber driver. It doesn't look like he's got enough, unfortunately. Now, we should actually mention, it is Jack RT in P3, then TRPT, then Ard. So actually, my apologies, is not actually in 5th, he's actually battling for 6th there. I have no idea why is Jack RT being pronounced in P9. Nick Murati dies in the pitch ball on lap number 24. That's a late pit stop from the lad. He should come out ahead of Amazed. Well, that's the theory anyway, but then it'll be a straight fight for them for what will actually be for P7. Because I hope that, judging by what we've seen on the stream, I'm hoping that Jack RT, if he does finish P3, will be reinstated that, because he is riding in P3 at the moment. Now, there is Jack RT now. Just see him there on the screen of TRPT. So I would think that he is actually awarded the P3. They've got the owner of the league in the chat, so hopefully he does make the decision. So then, of course, when it comes to post-race interviews, you know, we know who has finished where, so we're not left a little bit in the dust. But it's now 8 seconds between the two leaders, and actually 4 seconds now between Ard and PT. So Ard is still very much in a fight here. He's definitely a man on a mission at the moment, and actually Amazed all over back in Murati here. For P6, they come through turn number 8 now, up towards 9 and 10, and he's all over the back of him. Of course, Artie just now fresh out of the pits. It's been a poor day for Amazed, but a consistent drive by Artie, so Amazed will hope to sort of get a bit of retribution here on lap number 25. Which probably was actually lap 24, sorry, with these guys. It is indeed. Those guys actually come up to being close to being lapped, so I'm not sure they don't do that. But Harley's now 6.7 seconds behind, so it's definitely closing up. And actually, PT is very, very, very close to Jack RT. Does Ollie have 6 seconds of penalties? I believe he does. Indeed, he does. He does have 6 seconds of penalties. And actually, Jack RT went a little bit wide there out of turn number 7 through 8. Williams driver of TRPT all over the back, and of course, this is actually for the podium. But Ard is just there behind them, as you can see. Because PT has got the least amount of penalties in this Grand Prix. 3 seconds time there for ESR Amazed. Harley's not wrong, because he's got 12 seconds of penalties. And actually, Jack RT has just gone AI there, as he actually left the session there. I believe there might have been a... Oh, actually, he's just gone out. Now he has left the session. So, actually, now TRPT is officially up in a P3. We can officially confirm that. So, the Williams driver is now on the podium, but Ard is bearing down on him. 5 seconds is the gap between Smithson and Harley, with just now 4 laps to go in this Grand Prix. And it's definitely not over yet between these guys. Keep your eyes on these battles. What has been a thrilling first round here at the WXL, and that definitely, we hope, will continue. Another 3 second time for his own race. This day just keeps getting worse and worse. He loves a good time penalty. We'll keep it on board with Smithson for the time being. Through turn number 8 he comes. And it's been a very consistent drive by this man. Just planning that one stop has just worked an absolute treat. And has worked very, very, very well for him. Of course, keeping that pace of Ard was definitely crucial to his race, and he's definitely done that. He definitely did that during that stint when Ard was on the Supers. So you've got to say, it has been fantastic from this man. Of course, he didn't line up on pole. He was close. There was no cigar, but then in the race, the better strategy has proved to be almighty for him. But my driver of the day at the moment, it's got to be Harley. I mean, he started last, now he's second. What more can you say? What more can you say other than that? But it still has to change. We've still got now, just about to start, lap number 27 out of 29, 3 laps to go. So not long at all left in the Grand Prix. 3 laps to go, starting now for these two. 3.4 seconds is the gap. Ard is now 2.2 seconds behind PT. So they come through turn number 15, which is of course the penultimate corner of this Grand Prix. Now through the final corner, it's now down under 2 seconds, but of course PT has a lot less penalties than Ard. He'll probably know that. I'm sure he'll be able to take full advantage of that on the Force India drive with all their penalties. Through T2 they come. It still looks close, but it doesn't look like it's going to be close enough for the moment. Because 2 seconds, I mean, given the fact that Paisley caught up, surely 2 seconds in 3 laps is surely going to be enough to grab the race victory. JSR Snakes has just got past his team and unfortunately left the session there, so that's a shame to see. As they come through T11 and 12, there's actually PSR Maze's AI is just pit, so that's not a good thing. Now, actually, how has he done that then? Is he not AI or what? I'm not too sure what's happening, because PSR Maze has just been awarded the 5-second stop go for speed in the pit lane. I'm pretty sure the AI can't get that. Bizarre scenes in a typical Codemasters lobby. Let's put it that way. We're now just about to start the penultimate lap of the 2 leaders, and the gap is now 2.4 seconds. Smithson has just got to keep it up. There's not long to go. There's PSR Maze's AI just now coming out the pits through turn 1. So of course Harley would just happily go straight through the middle of him, just like that. And actually, we will quickly pan over in just a second to Ard versus PT, because that is definitely going to be the battle to watch for the last podium position. Yellow flag in sector 3, and it's KJ Gamer in P5, who has made a mistake. He's not got any damage by looks. Actually, he might do on that front left, but looks like a slight bit of damage. But KJ Gamer is now still running P5. He's got no damage. He's got a chance to still come across the line in that position. Of course, Artie has definitely closed up, but it's going to be nowhere near enough. Just got to keep it on the track for them final few laps. Because KJ Gamer has had some very good moves at the moment. He's done a fantastic move around the outside of, I believe it was actually PT earlier on in the race. Fantastic move. And definitely someone to watch out for in this league. Qualified P4, only ended up P5 due to a few mistakes. But he's definitely a rookie to keep your eye on. I know he's getting used to the world of league racing, and actually he's definitely someone to watch out for in the future. And actually now Ard is under a second behind PT as they're about to start turns number 13 and 14, getting ready to start their last lap. And PT definitely looks like a man who's under pressure by Ard, but of course time penalties will all work in favour of PT as they're about to start their final lap. Doesn't look like Harley's going to be close enough though to go for a move on Smithson. 1.1 seconds is the gap, but we'll keep an eye on this battle for P3. The last podium position on offer, but of course you've got to say time penalties are in the favour of PT massively. So he might be able to wrap this up here nicely. Through T1 and 2 they come. There's still the DRS advantage for Hard as they come towards turn number 3. It's very easy to catch someone, but it's harder to overtake. He is looking very aggressive under brakes there through turn 3 in towards turn number 4. This is going to be close between these two. Make sure they don't have any contact though, because of course, you know, Peter would definitely not want that. Of course, with time penalties being in effect, he will know that this podium position will surely be his. And he will surely be able to wrap up what has been a fantastic drive by him. And just someone who just kept it clean and consistent all race. Very proven actually. Ooh, very much looking on the offensive there was Ard. They come through towards turns 11 and 12 for the final time. We'll quickly pan on board with the race leaders through the final corner. Here comes Ard. Harley going for an absolute suicidal dive bomb there at the last moment. But Ard is definitely over the back of P through turn number 13. It's side by side. Huge bit of contact there. Side by side still through turn number 14. They come now. They're still side by side. Down the inside. P fends though nicely as the two leaders have just crossed the line. First and second. Round the outside. Trying to go hard on the brakes, but nobody going to move done. Running wide on the curse there. Through the final corner is P. Now they're going to be side by side around to the line. It's going to be a dual to the line. Absolute pressure on the inside there. Running him almost out of road. But it's been PT who grabs it due to penalties. Ard in P4. Fantastic bit of battle near the end of the race. Bit aggressive by P at the end there. Will squeeze in Ard right to the fucking pit wall. But in the end, it is P3 for PT, P4 for Ard. So it is Smithson who wins the first round of the WXL. And definitely proves it to be a championship that he could be battling for. KJ Gamer has suddenly won this race out of nowhere. That's a random glitch, but now he comes over in P5. Harley, after starting on last position, ends up with second place in the Salva due to a fantastic bit of strategy. Enigma RC takes P6 here. JSR Snakes is going to come to line in. P7 weaves at the line. Nice bit of weave and ends up smashing into the wall there. And that is that. Well. What can you say to that? There they are on the podium. There is the Mercedes driver, proving it could be a Mercedes season this season. Virsar Smithson, winner of round number 1. Fantastic drive by him. Brilliant as well from Harley. Harley got some special shout out to him, P2. And as well to the man on the last of the podium, TRPT. Brilliantly done there. Actually a British 1, 2, 3. Nice to see here in WXL. But yeah, we'll move on swiftly towards the podium because we'll get everyone in the party. Because I have actually got to do them for this.
Has anyone got a bucket?
Okay.
Like, I am sweating so much. That is the best end to a race I've ever done. My heart rate probably just went up like times 10 then. Jesus Christ. I'll get Harley in.
Are we going to get Harley in? Is he on the job? There is Shamin. And there is Harley. Right, so we'll start off, work our way through the grid. So we'll start off with the man that came P3 and work our way up. So, Mr. PT. First of all, make sure you have your mic on in the party. That'd be a good start. But yeah, first of all, congratulations, P3, today in the very first round of the WXL. Fantastic drive by yourself. Now, first thing I would like to mention, obviously difficult qualifying for you, a bit further down the field. What was really your strategy heading into this race? And obviously, you know, were you planning to sort of go aggressive early, or were you planning to sort of keep it safe?
Initially I started out, it was going to be, you know, sit back, relax. I don't really know many of these guys. Well, I know some of them, I haven't really raced any of them. Just sit back, see what happened, and qualifying, my lap wasn't the best. I could have been on par with Ollie and who was second on the grid?
Ard. Well,
yeah.
I was second, Ard was first.
Yeah, I could have been on par with them, but I just didn't hook the lap up properly.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a bit of a sort of difficult qualifying. I'll tell you something definitely as well. When I looked at the roster of drivers in this league, you know, I had a look at who was in there. I thought definitely, you know, you were going to be someone that was up there, and seeing quality a bit further down was a bit tough. But you definitely kept it clean. You definitely proved, you know, consistency is key as well. There's someone else in the party that definitely proved that. Second question for you is actually about obviously the championship. You know, what is sort of, you know, looking at the roster of drivers that we have here in the WXL, who sort of, you know, what's your aspirations? You know, do you think you've got the potential to call yourself champion?
Obviously going into every, you know, this is just the start of the season. Obviously going to be trying for that first place, the championship, of course. If not, if I don't win it, I'll be happy with top 3. That would be, yeah, that would be fine with me.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's always a good aim. Always good to have something as an aim. And I don't really know what to ask my last question. I always usually ask 3 questions, but I don't really know what to ask my last one. Actually, I do. I will actually. I'll speak to you briefly about that last lap battle that my voice had a brilliant time commentating on in the last sector between you and Ard. Please just, you know, obviously were you aware that he had more time penalties than you, or were you just like, no, sorry, I'm just going to go absolutely all out and just defend all my life? Because it's definitely seemed like, you know, you were defending not just for the position, but as if you didn't know he had penalties.
Yeah, you know, I didn't know he had penalties, but I just thought, why not? Because battling is just, I love battling. I don't really care if he's got penalties or not. It's just fun. That's what makes me enjoy this game. So I was like, do I let him through over the line just to take the piss? But no, I didn't do that.
PG.
Yeah, no, don't worry, Smithson. I've already swore on this stream. So don't you worry, it already isn't PG, my friend. Don't you bloody worry about that. But yeah, Pete, congratulations on P3. Hope to see you back up here next week. And congratulations once again. And we'll move swiftly along to second place man, the man that actually really sort of stunned us all. I mean, I'm not being funny, but once the race sort of died down a bit, once all the stuff happened, and then just see Harley in first, thinking, how the hell did he get there? First question for you, Harley. That surely mustn't have been your race plan, was it, to start all the way at the back?
No, in quali went for 2-lap run first, didn't have enough fuel to do second lap, and then second run just invalidated both my laps at turn 1, turned in too early, so I'd start at the back. Yeah,
that was definitely not ideal, let's put it that way. But of course, yeah. You know, looking at the tyre compounds and what, you know, obviously it was yourself and I need to remember who the other person was. It was yourself and someone else. Well, it wasn't Scratch.
Yeah,
Little Rye, that was it. Yeah, Little Rye. Starting on the soft compound tyres, and then of course going to the ultra softs at the end. Obviously, you know, I'm assuming that your game plan at the start was to play it safe, you know, and sort of just sit at the back and let everyone else have their fun, really.
Yeah, I definitely tried to be a bit cautious, just not get any front wing damage, and then just go from there, basically. So.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I will say as well, particularly when, you know, I think it was you and Petey, you went head to head early on in the race when I believe Petey was on the ultra soft, so you were on the soft compound tyres. Yeah. And I think that was once Petey's tyres started to sort of go off a bit, and you know that lap I believe he did actually pit.
Yeah, he did.
But of course, that's sort of when, sort of as the stint went on, was that sort of when you started to sort of get a bit more aggressive and start to really, you know, work on your positions.
Yeah, because I didn't actually put a lot of fuel in the car. I was running standard and lean for most of the race, so I was just getting into a groove. And once everybody started to drop off around me, I started to just push a bit more. So, definitely worked.
It most certainly did, my friend. It most certainly did. My final question for you is actually pretty much the same as what Petey. Of course, this only being round 1 of this championship, still a lot of stuff left to fight for. Obviously, a good result for you today, 18 points. You know, what's your aspirations in WXL? Do you think you've got what it takes to call yourself champion?
I think I've definitely got a shout at a top 3 and hopefully the championship. I mean, I don't know, it's the first race, so got a lot to see, especially from other people as well. They've been improving and practicing, so
yeah, it's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a long one, so make sure you stay tuned in. Cheeky plug. Make sure you stay tuned in throughout the season and enjoy. Harley, congratulations on Peter. You were also my driver of the day for your fantastic effort from last on the grid. So, and that's definitely something we might see you back here a few times this season. And now we move on to the race winner, Mr. VSR Smithson. Someone that I'm pretty used to podium interviewing by this point because you seem to win everything that I commentate on. Right, so first of all, actually I'm going to ask a question actually about yourself and your teammate, of course, being teammates with KJ Gamer. And actually as well, you came over with a decent result today, you two, 1st and 5th I believe. And of course, qualified high in pole position. You know, do you think you two have got the potential to sort of win the constructors?
I didn't qualify in pole, just put that there.
Qualified 2nd, that was it. 2nd and 4th, that was it. Shut up. But yeah, no, do you think you guys have the potential to call yourself constructors champions?
I don't know. I'm going to try and make all the races I can. I'm at my dad's most Wednesdays, so it's a bit of touch and go as to whether I get back in time, but yeah. If I can make most of the races, then I definitely think we could challenge for the title, and hopefully myself with the drivers as well. Obviously, after a strong start in the race, grabbing the win off Art, few laps in, and well, qualifying didn't really go to plan. I know I can do low 21s, high 20s, but I'm validated at turn 12, even though I took it exactly the same than what I normally do. So it's questionable from Codemasters. So if I probably could have got pole by a good few tens. But yeah, to answer your question, I think we could.
Yeah, I think it's definitely sort of been a bit of a, with regards to obviously Codemaster. We had a massive glitch with Jack RT where for some reason he wasn't showing up as P3 even before he disconnected, and that was just it was bizarre.
So it was P9 on the race start, I think.
Yeah, but he was P3, like because he was ahead of.
Nice internet.
He was ahead of P. Yeah, because you were closing up to him, and I was just like, what? I didn't know what to say. There's not a lot I can really say. I just had to sort of try and go with the flow. But yeah, sorry, Smithson. Second question for you. Obviously, you had Ard close behind you during the first stint, and of course, you dived into what rather considered to be an early stop to go onto the soft tyres to the end. Was that as part of a sort of response to try and like trick Ard into sort of doing something else, something that he didn't exactly plan, or was that just all part of your plan overall?
No, it was because I was on like 50-60% tyre wear, because I did like 3 laps at the start of the session, and those are the tyres I started on because I invalidated my final run. Because the way I do it, I set like 1 or 2, 3, like 2, 3 laps at the most at the start of the session, and I just go for one belter with just no fuel in the car right at the end and hope it's not invalidated, which is a bit ballsy, but it's how I run things. But yeah, the tyres were absolutely shot, so I just came in, set a sauce, went to the end. But also to try and get an undercut on Ard, who went on to the supers, strangely. Yeah, I think it was a bit of a stupid strategy call, going into supers, and then pitting like 6 laps at the end onto ultras. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a weird one from him, but that might be a sign that maybe potentially sort of, maybe a bit of little strategy knowledge, maybe potentially in the future, battling up there with you. And actually, my final question, of course, you did mention that you hope to be in the championship fight this season, of course, with all the races that you can hopefully make. But the question actually for you is who would you say is your main contenders this season? Who's the guys that you're going to be looking out for in terms of results?
No idea really. I think I'd like to see more of a challenge from Ard. I don't really know, to be honest.
Boy, I'm going to be up there.
Well, that's laid down the marker.
Challenge accepted.
No, you might as well aim big. If you're going to aim anywhere, aim big. But yeah, so Smithson, that will actually complete it. Congratulations on the win today, my friend. Fantastic drive by yourself. And look forward to doing podiums in the future. And actually, Heskey, you said you'd like to say something, so I'll let the owner have the floor.
Thank you, Jack. First of all, big thank you for doing the stream today. You did brilliant on your own. It was a great watch. Second of all, thank you very much to the front guys who battled very well, kept the viewers entertained for the first few laps, especially Ollie, and Ethan as well. You three did very well in the race, kept it consistent, and did what mattered the most, keep the car in one piece until the end, which some of the other drivers didn't quite say a few laps into the race. I hope next week we have just as good as a showing as this, a bit better showing than the real life Australian Grand Prix, and what I would consider a great start to the league, and good luck in practice for next week, boys.
Cheers.
There you have it. That is the owner of the league. Now, I'd like to say a personal thank you to actually my own league, F1XL. I was doing a podcast with them, and unfortunately I had to miss the start of quali, which meant I sort of had to come in a bit sort of like, oh god, I wasn't ready for this. But they then actually, after they finished the podcast on the Twitch, they actually then hosted us and actually massively boost the viewer count. So we do very much appreciate that. Please do that every single week, F1XL, I'm begging you. I may not be admin anymore, but please. But I would also like to thank Heskey for, Heskey and Artie, the two guys who, of course, are the owners. They set up the league and, really quick, and they got some very, very quick guys in for the league. So I hope that continues throughout the season. I hope the battling continues because, I mean, it may kill my voice, but it's bloody brilliant to watch. Let's put it that way. But yeah, so that will conclude the first
Can I just
round.
quickly say something?
Go ahead. Just say.
I'd just
whatever
like to
you want.
apologise to Coxey for pushing it off of turn 1. I just understeered onto the curb and he kind of like got onto the grass, so yeah, apologies to him.
Yeah, so there you go. An apology. I will admit I was a bit aggressive from you, but it's nice for you to own up. Something that always is nice to see in these races. But that will end the first round stream. Congratulations to our 3 on the podium. Congratulations to everyone who took part in the race. And yeah, that has been WXL round number 1. We'll see you same place, same time next week for what is, I believe, are we doing Bahrain? I haven't checked the calendar, to be honest with you. I'm unorganised.
Don't worry, not even I know what the next race is.
Oh, well that's great.
Fair
We'll see you
enough.
next time, somewhere around
Randomise
the country. It could be anywhere. Anywhere that's on the globe, we're racing there. Right, anyway. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time, and goodbye.